ready for the next battle.
Welcome to the stage of history.
Nice.
I am proficient with many types of blades, and blasters, and explosives.
Hi, I'm Derek Bum. Say goodbye to daily stains and dirty surfaces with new kitchen gun.
Miss me, bucketheads?
It's her.
Yep, you definitely missed me.
What's a yeet? Yeet! Alright, well, power of the tribe. Alright, I'll power.
I'm gonna isolate one of those resources and do her a damage. Okay, your powers are weak. I'll re-roll her 2 character and that one. So yeah, her 2 character dice and that one. I'll call guns and do her 2 damage.
No more.
I'll damage you if you don't shut up.
Hey everyone, if you didn't catch it, the "I'll damage you if you don't shut up" line is from the flavor text on the original Sabine from Empire at War. And you'll notice that this Sabine isn't necessarily, yes, it's a new Sabine, new to us, but I feel like it's more of a reinvigorated or reimagining of Sabine, Sabine 1. And the reason I say that, if you look at Sabine 1 and the new Sabine, they both have the 2 range sides. They both have the 3 range sides. The new Sabine has a 2 disrupt for nothing, but the old Sabine has a 3 disrupt for 1 resource. The new one doesn't have the shield as the same as the old one, but the new one does have a resource, and the new one has a special. So the special is deal 1 damage to each of an opponent's characters, reroll this die instead of removing it. So right off the bat, you are a threat to hot roll someone off the table if you keep rolling specials. So it's the classic Force Storm. I've seen someone roll 7 specials on Force Storm in 1 turn. Hopefully that doesn't happen to you where someone rolls 7 specials on Speed's die. And it is kind of a throwback to, if you remember, the original thermal detonator that she had that she could put on here. The old one had the ability to slot it in, but it was really good to action cheat with and just get out and get those specials and damage everyone on the board. The new Sabine also has a interesting power action. So it's resolve up to 2 of your die showing disrupt as if they were showing indirect damage. So she does have a 2 disrupt side, so automatically you can start to think, well, if I get 2 disrupts on an elite die, then I have 4 indirect damage I can do. And what's nice is there's certain types of removal, like fluid or post, that isn't going to hit the 2 disrupt because it's not showing damage until you resolve it. You'll also notice, I think, that the new Sabine is pretty much girled in. Both of them have 14 health. Both of them are 18 points. 2 range, 3 range, 2 disrupt on the Sabine versus 2 melee on the Den. That 2 disrupt can be 2 indirect on the new Sabine. The Den card has a 2 shield side, and a 2 disrupt. The 2 disrupt and the 2 shield are kind of, you got the 2 disrupt and the 2 indirect, in the same package on the new Sabine. But really, I think Sabine's probably a little bit better, but they are going to be pretty comparable. I think where Sabine's going to shine is the partners that she can have with her. Whereas the Den card is a bounty hunter. He can use certain bounty hunter cards to his advantage. Sabine, actually, she's a Spectre. And that's going to mean that certain partners she's going to excel with. I think Hera and Kanan are definitely something that is in the running for her to be a great partner with red and blue. You also have some other good red and blue options at 12 points and somewhat less, but I think those are going to be the ones that stick out for a little bit until one new one emerges. So going off this, I think that the next spoiler we're going to talk about is going to be Sabine's West Star. And you're going to see it here in all of its glory. It has 1 range, 2 range, 2 indirect, 2 disrupt, resource, and a blank. So again, with the 2 disrupts, you can be pretty careful about what you need to disrupt and when you need to deal damage. So I think the flexibility there is great. The card here says Ambush. I've been informed that Ambush will be removed from the final version that goes out, so don't bank on that. It is a redeploy weapon, but here's what's interesting. After you play this upgrade on Sabine, you may spend 1 resource to make this upgrade elite. So this is the first elite redeploy weapon. So if you have 2 die with this, it's going on to the next person, and it's going to have 2 die with it as well. So it will keep 2 die, and I love it. Beforehand I would say that 4 resources, 3 if it was yellow, and it'd be comparable on Sabine. Vibro Sword would be my favorite upgrade as far as damage dealing. I actually like this better than Vibro Sword. You have tons of damage that can come out of this. The only thing that Vibro Sword has on it is the 3 discard side. And so that could be something that you think about if you want to include on that. I think 2 Vibros and a Sabine with the West Star are going to be pretty potent for an opponent to deal with. And lastly, we have the event. This is the way. It's play only if all characters on your team share a color or a subtype. Remove an opponent's die. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Power of the Tribe, but I feel like it's a little bit more laxed, and it's only 1 die. So the nice thing about it is it's not 2 or less. It's not this. It's just literally, bam, remove it. So if you have 2 Spectres on your team, or 2 Bounty Hunters, or 2 Scoundrels, or 2 of any type of yellow subtype, this is the way. It definitely is a great include in your deck. This is also something that I would put in with, if Jin Han is still relevant. I think this would be good with her and Han, especially with Born in Conversation anyway. Then you're just removing die and you don't care what they show. So going on back to Sabine, what are good partners with her and how should you utilize her? I think that red and yellow is definitely going to be a strong contender on colors right now, and I think that red definitely has a place in the meta. Sabine and Hera definitely are a strong combo. Now, they are both Spectres, so that turns on Run to Safety. That turns on This Is the Way, Power of the Tribe. There are a lot of cards that are themed with that you can run since they have a similar subtype. As One is something that I haven't decided how I feel about it yet. I think it's really good with Spectres, and it's kind of the pseudo action sheet we have left, especially with Hera, who has the focus sides on her die. there were a couple of games that I was able to take because I had as one in my hand, and I was able to re-roll a die. I didn't get what I want, but I focused with Hera's die into what I needed, and one time I killed a character, one time I took a game because of it. So I think that it's worthwhile. I don't know how I feel about it as a long-term include, because there are so many things that are great. One thing, if you are going to run Hera, I think that CoPilot is a great include in this deck, just to help her to get the 15 health, and that's going to turn on Feat of Strength for 2 die. The nice thing about her being a pilot is because then she can get shields by piloting Ghost, and I think that is also going to be a really good combo. The other thing that is really good is Sabine Wren's TIE Fighter, which comes in, it's 2 costs, has ambush. When it modifies a Spectre die, you can discard a card to roll it back in your pool. So if you keep getting ranged and you have stuff, you're like, well, I don't really need this card, we'll just resolve your range one at a time if they're not getting removed. Roll it back in, keep the fun going with the Sabine's tie. So Sabine's West Star, Sabine's tie, all the things that are going to be really strong with her. As far as red cards that I thought were pretty good to include, I definitely put in general, as that could be something that, well, I didn't roll what I wanted, or I wanted that special, or I wanted something else. So I can get this through ranges, through resources, or I can get that anything as a special, resolve it, reroll it. And I think that was definitely key. If I got a 2 range on Hera's die, then 2 focus to special. So general, I think, was definitely a good card to have in here. With her being yellow, you're going to run Black Market Connection. If you're doing an upgrade package, then it definitely is something that's good. I found that she worked best with a mix of upgrades and supports, actually. I didn't want to put a lot of supports in, but with the Ghost, Sabine's tie, and the Freighters, and a few other things, I definitely found some use in for her. Kanan is another interesting partner because he can also be elite, and he can play high stakes. So if you're starting your win con off with redeploy weapons that are going to be 3 costs on Kanan, or 4 cost, you can start off with maybe the turn 1 you play a Kanan Saber, deal some damage with it, and then override it. And if something is going to redeploy onto Sabine, because let's face it, 9 health is going to do a lot right now. Kanan doesn't have a lot of the cards that are going to be super powerful with Sabine in red. You're going to lose those, but you are going to have Black Market Connection. I feel that one is a little bit more upgrade focused. The 2 die removal, I think, is going to be hard. You're going to be stuck with Beguile and some other cards like that. So take that as you will, and that's just something you're going to have to figure through. Again, I think Sabine and Kanan, either with high stakes, you're going to get out the West Star on Sabine, make it elite, or you're going to get out Kanan Saber, or you're going to get out Vibra Sword. There's a good chance you're going to have a strong weapon right off the bat. What else? Mono Yellow partners. TK Han was someone I thought was actually really good pairing with her. I was worried because he didn't have a lot of health, but just moving forward, and he didn't really synergize with her, but they did put in some other cards since I was mono yellow. Let's make a deal for 3 removal, and maybe in that match I was getting lucky and I was getting specials, but TK Han definitely actually proved really strong with his 2 range and 3 range sides and indirect. The one thing interesting about Sabine is going to be the Spectre Cell plot, which gives -1 to your team if they're all Spectres. I believe if you do single die Kanan, single die Hera, single die Sabine, that you can run it with the plot. If my math is correct, it's not a good pairing. if you want elite characters, Zeb could maybe run it if he drops down a point. And in the future, I don't know if that's something that's going to happen, but it would be something I'd advocate for. Zeb doesn't seem to have a strong place in the meta right now with all of his modified sides, and Whistling Birds seems to be his bread and butter, having that in your deck. But with him not having access to Whistling Birds, he's really not that strong, I don't think. That combo would be kind of tanky to take down, though, so it is something that I would look to have going. Let's see, what other yellow ones? I haven't explored any of the other characters on set 5, and at the time of this video, I think CoPilot has been spoiled. He could be someone that could run with Sabine with a plot. I don't really have as much of that knowledge. I literally only play tested her with like a few people that were play testers, so I only have like 5 or 6 games in with her. One other thing, if you go red and you include some supports, I think Bad Batch is really good because you have the focus and you can focus 2 or specials with the engineer guy. So I definitely wouldn't overlook Bad Batch in this deck, as well as you have the Clone Trooper die can be focuses if you have a general out, so since their character dies, so I definitely wouldn't shy away on that. Gift I thought was actually something that was really good in my Spectre decks, because I could roll on a support after someone had claimed, and if I played a piloting deck, then I could pilot, take the battlefield back if I had Colossus out. If I wasn't running Colossus, I was usually running Undercity to kind of filter some cards and get to that Black Market connection or get to the Sabine's West Star. I would like to say I could get to CoPilot half all the games I did, which wasn't many. I only got CoPilot once. The last thing I would say about Sabine is find ways to special chain. So Kanan, it's a spot blue for Yoda's teachings, so I can put that on Sabine or Kanan, depending on who's damaged more, and then try to find ways to special chain into her specials. I think that's going to be the other strategy that you come out with her. So focus and specials, and really, like, yeah, they're doing 1 damage to each of their characters, but you also get to reroll that die instead of removing it. So in the beginning, I think it's pretty strong to just go ahead and just try to get those specials, and then just try to come back and make it so it's something that is going to benefit you. And really, unless it's a blank, I don't think it's a bad side to die. Like, you're always going to want money. You're always, 2 disrupt, 2 indirect. 3 range, 2 range. And the special just rerolls, so the blank is really the only bad side on her die, I feel like. She just doesn't have shields, and that could be something that maybe you look for in a little bit. Find ways to put shields on your yellow character. You can increase her health fortitude. I did that. That was something actually Black Marketed connection for one time. I had a feat of strength in my hand. I had 2 feats of strength in my hand. I just Black Market connectioned for the fortitude, so I could get both of those. So yeah, that's Sabine in a nutshell. Let me know what you think, and I'm pretty excited to try out Sabine and Mandalores. So if I didn't say it already, Sabine 1 was my first legendary pull in Star Wars Destiny, so Sabine does have does hold some emotion in my heart. The old Yoda Sabine deck, or I think originally I ran Ayla Sabine because I had that combo. But yeah, I'm excited to see what you guys do. Let me know what you think, and I will talk to you later. See ya.